Hey everyone, welcome back to CSS tutorial for complete beginners. Today we're going to learn about create a simple website using HTML and CSS. So without wasting any time, let's get started. First, we're going to come over into our index.html or in our Visual Studio Code. And from here, I'm going to open the live server and I'm going to do it with side by side for showing you what's changing and how it's doing. So for that, I will going to first give this and going to create the HTML structure. And after that, I'm going to come over into the body section. Into the body section, I'm going to add a new header. And into the header, I'm going to give a nav. So for that, I'm going to use a nav. After that, I'm going to give the unlisted tag. And into the unlisted tag, I'm going to use the list tag. So for that, I'm going to give the list tag. Into the list tag, I'm going to anchor tag. So for that, I'm going to give the anchor tag and then give the href. And then I'm going to give a hash and then close the anchor tag. I'm going to give it as a home. Then I'm going to save it, copy this list like this. As you can see, I'm going to copy it and going to paste it for 3 times. Paste, paste, and paste. And then I'm going to change here this hash call. In this here, I'm going to use about. And then here I'm going to use services. And here I'm going to name it as services. And then in here I'm going to use contact. So everywhere you just need to give the hash contact and give the hash. And that's it. Now you can simply save it. And now if you save it and then you just need to close down unlisted. So now you can simply save it. Now you can simply open the live server. And as you can see that you added home, about, services and home. So maybe I type it. Oh, here I need to type over here contacts, and I can simply save it. And as you can see, in my right side in website, we added home, about, services and contacts. So after creating the list item, now we can simply come over into header section. And then after closing the header tag, we can simply start with a section. So for that, I'm going to create section and then give a class name over here. But before that, into the section, we can simply add class and give the class as a hero. And into the section, I can simply give an image source. So for that, I'm going to use image and going to give the source. So for that, I need to add an image. So as you can see into my HTML file, I added this image. So for that, what we have to do, I'm going to do this a little bit. And then as you can see, here is the image. So for that, I'm going to copy its name over here. I'm going to copy it and going to paste it into the source item as like this. And come over into the alt and giving the alt as a hero image. Then simply save it. And now if we just close it, and now if we see into our website, as you can see, we added this image over here. So now what we did, we will going to create another heading. So for that, we're going to give the heading as h1 tag and going to give the heading as welcome to our modern website. So for that, welcome to our modern website. And after that, we're going to add a paragraph. So for that, I'm going to give a paragraph tag. The paragraph tag, I can simply type over here, your one stop solution for web development. I can simply save it, and as you can see, we added the text over here into the paragraph tag. And then I'm going to close the section, and after that I'm going to add another section, and into the section I can give another ID, and into the ID I can simply give it about, and then I can simply give the angular bracket after section, and into the section I can simply add a h2 tag, and to the h2 tag I can simply give about us, and then I can simply save it. And if I just scroll down a little bit, as you can see, we added the about us, and after that we can simply add a paragraph tag. So for that I can simply give the paragraph tag, and into the paragraph tag we can simply add lorem ipsum. So for that I'm going to click the lorem ipsum. We can simply save it, and as you can see, we added some text in a paragraph tag, and we can simply close the section. And after we're going to add a services, create another section, and I'm going to give the section, give the ID, and I can simply give the angular brackets or not here after this clone, so services. And after that we can simply add into the section a h2 tag. Into the h2 tag we can simply type our services, and that's it. We can save it right now. And if we just a UL tag, unlisted tag, into the unlisted tag we can simply add a listed tag. Into the listed tag we can simply add web design, and after that we can simply copy it, to time, 3 time, I'm going to give the 4th time. And now we're going to change the list items. So for that we're going to change a second one for web development, and after into the third row we can simply give SEO optimization, and after that we can simply add digital marketing, and then I can simply save them. As you can see, we added our services, web design, web development, SEO optimization, and digital marketing. After that we can simply add the section and unlisted items too, and then we can simply, what we can do, we can create another section, and into the section we can simply add an ID. Into the ID we can give it as now contact, then simply give contact, not the capital letter, and then we can simply give the angular brackets. Into the section we can simply add another header 2 tag. Into the header 2 we can simply add contact us. Now we can save it, and now if you look at the right side, as you can see, we add in the contact us, and then we can simply add a paragraph. So for that I can simply give a paragraph tag, and I can add the email. So for that I'm going to add the email, and for the email I can simply give a random, like for showing your contact as @, modernweb.com. Not. And that's it. Now we can simply close the section, and then we can add a footer. So as you can see what we did, if we just save it, and now as you can see we add our email website, and then we can simply add a footer. So for that I have to use a footer. So I can simply give a footer, and into the footer I can simply add a paragraph tag, and into the paragraph tag we can simply give @ copy 2025 modern web design, and that's it. And then we can simply give all right reserved those p tag. Design and all right reserved, and here I can simply give the closing p tag and now the footer, and that's it. This is all about the HTML. So if I just save it, and as you can see into the contact us we added the email and modernweb.com, and then we can simply added a footer over here. As you can see we added the footer. So all done here. We can simply now save them or saved, and now we can simply go for the style.css. Before going for the style.css, here we need to add something called link. Into the link I can need to name the style.css. I can save it right now. So now we added, now as you can see we added the style.css over here. So as you can see, if you just want to get it properly, you can simply copy the name and then you can simply add it over here if you're facing any problem. So now we can save it, and as you can see we added this HTML website. So now we're going to go for work with the style.css, and to the style.css first we'll work with the body. So for that we're going to give the body and the angular brackets. Into the angular bracket I have to use a font family. For the font family I can simply use a very popular Arial and sans serif. I can simply add them and I can simply save them. And as you can see that all the font has been changed over here like this, as you can see. So now we will work with the body, and after that we're going to work about the padding. So before that we're going to add a margin, and the margin should be 0. Margin should be 0. I can simply save it. You can simply checking the changes. I can simply now add the padding. Add the padding and I can simply save it. And now I can simply add the text align, and the text align should be into the center. I can simply save them. And as you can see, all are centered right now. All the items are centered right now. And then we can simply add a background color. So for that I can simply use a very popular color, F4, F4, F4. And now I can simply save them. You won't get the much changes, but if I just change it with this color called this red color, now if I save it, as you can see all into the back are going to checked with red, but I will don't use it. I'm going to use it a very proper way. So for that I'm going to use hash F4, F4, F4. I can save it right now. As you can see we changed the color to the background color. And then we will going to work with the nav bar. So for that I'm going to use the nav ul, and then going to give the curly brackets. Into the curly brackets I can simply add the list style. So for that I'm going to list style, I'm going to use nothing. So for what will happen, there will be no underline. So for that, if I just save it right now, as you can see no dots are over here. First there is no dots over here. as you can see. And after we're going to use the background color. So for that I'm going to use the background. For the text color I'm going to use the background, and then I'm going to give this color. Simply I can save it, and as you can see we added a background color, and then we can simply add the padding. For the padding I can simply use it about the 15 pixel. Can save it, and for the upper and lower we added 15% padding. And after that we can simply go for nav ul list. So for that I'm going to use nav, and then going to give ul and list, and then giving the curly brackets, and into the curly brackets I can simply use the display as inline CSS. We ever heard about it? Now you can see that it's an inline. So what we're going to do is all that bar over showing here, they're all going to be horizontal. As you can see, they are not vertical right now, they're horizontally they're showing. So then I'm going to add, and then I'm going to use a nav ul list and with the anchor text. So for that I'm going to use the curly brackets. I'm going to give them a color. It's called the text color, so I'm going to give them white, then save it, and as you can see they are changed with the color white. And after that I'm going to give the text decoration. For showing them there will be no underline, so for that I'm going to give the text decoration. For the text decoration I can simply set them as none. Can save it, and then I'm going to use the font size, and the font size should be 18px. Can save it, and now I'm going to use the hero image. So for that I'm going to place a hero img. I'm going to do the curly brackets. Into the curly brackets I can simply set them the width. So for that I'm going to use the width as 100%. Now I can save them, and then I'm going to give the height, and the height should be 400 pixel. Can save it, and as you can see, now I'm going to use the object fit. I'm going to object fit into cover and save it. I'm going to give the opacity, and the opacity should be 0.8. Can save it, but I can do a new section called, if I just use section, use the curly brackets. Into the curly brackets I can simply use the padding, and the padding should be 40px. I can save them right now. So I'm going to create the footer CSS. So for that I'm going to use something to the footer. So I'm going to use the footer, give the curly brackets. Into the curly bracket I can simply use a background, not the color, only the background. And for the background I can simply use 333 over here. I can save it right now. So if you just scroll down a little bit, as you can see the footer section is now looking at, and then I can simply give a color to them for white. I can simply save it right now. So if you just scroll them, and as you can see their footer, they're looking perfectly, and then we can simply set them a padding. So for the padding I can simply use 10 pixel. I can save it, and then I can simply give them a position. So for that I can simply give them a position. Going to give the position as relative. I can save it, and now they are looking well. After I can simply give a bottom. So for that I can simply give a bottom to the 0, and then I can simply use a width, and for the width I can simply give them 100%. And that's it. I can save it right now, and as you can see that they're completely okay with the footer section. And that's it. That's what everything about your. So as you can see, this is the website that we're talking about. So this is how we can simply create a website using CSS in a very simple way. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you for another videos. Till then, goodbye.